You've seen movies where people fight zombies. This isn't that story. This is the story of the last night one man chose not to fight and survived because of it. Day 7. Most people who survived the first week did so by running, fighting, or hiding. I survived by listening, not to the screams, to the gaps between them. Because in those gaps, you learn how they move. They don't run. They don't chase. They converge, like water finding the lowest point. And if you understand that, you can become invisible. I had one objective: the signal tower, 3 kilometers northeast. If I could reach it, if the transmitter was still intact, I could send a frequency to every emergency radio within 40 kilometers. My daughter had one. She knew what frequency. She was waiting. The first rule I learned: they respond to light before sound. The second, they don't chase individuals. They chase disruption. So I became the absence of disruption. Block by block, I mapped them. Their density, their drift patterns. At the intersection of 5th and Harbor, I counted 63. I needed to go through that intersection, so I waited 22 minutes until the drift shifted south. Then I walked through in 4 minutes and 11 seconds. But there are things you cannot predict with a notebook and a pencil. There are things that don't move like a current. Things that remember how to wait. It wasn't like the others. The others moved on instinct. This one, it had chosen a position near the only corridor that led to the tower. It was blocking the path, not by accident. I don't know how I knew. I just knew. I had 3 options. 1, go back and find another route. Add 90 minutes to the journey. 2, create a diversion. Draw it away. 3, wait and see if it moved on its own. I chose 3. I sat down on the floor across from it, and we looked at each other for 11 minutes. I reached the tower at 2:47 a.m. The transmitter was intact. Everything was exactly as I had calculated, except for one variable I hadn't accounted for. A woman, 40s. She was holding the only power cable I needed, and at her neck, a fresh bite wrapped in gauze. Her hands were trembling, but her eyes were still completely hers. She said, "I've been waiting for someone to come, not to save me, just to witness. Can you stay until I finish sending my message first?" I ran the math. 11 minutes before the infected reach this tower. Her message, 7 minutes. My message. 4. The numbers worked. But for the first time in 7 days, I didn't think about the numbers. At 3:09 a.m., I sent the signal. 14 seconds of Morse code. Her name. Her nickname that only I use. And the coordinates of this tower. Then I waited. At 3:12, I heard static. Then 2 short pulses. Our code. She was alive. She had heard. She was coming. And somewhere in the distance, I could hear the infected turning away from the tower. Not because I had outrun them. Because Mira had set the secondary frequency as a lure. Her last calculation. Better than any I had made. Day 8. I climbed down as the sky turned gray. I opened my notebook. 16 pages of calculations. I crossed them all out, and on the last blank page, I wrote one thing. Her name. That was the only variable that had ever mattered.